Jungle Crew, welcome back. Hopefully y'all are doing well. Hopefully Easter, if you celebrate, was good for you and your loved ones. First and foremost, we gotta say thank you all so much, bottom of our hearts. All the love, all of the support, all of the amazing feedback that we've been getting means the world to us. Thank you so much. If you wouldn't mind, just make sure that you leave comments down below on our YouTube. It helps the algorithm, helps other people find us, helps us to be able to continue to push this content out. And one of our goals is to be able to hit 1,000 subs, as you guys know from some of our previous videos. And once we do that, hopefully we'll be able to connect our store to it as well. JungleGamesENT.com. Again, it's JungleGamesENT.com. It's going to be in the description down below. But we're just going to continue to move forward here on some of the mini-series videos. And then I think after this, we're going to also sort of segment a little bit. I would love to be able to start doing some interviews with folks to be able to get people out, very similar like the podcast format, Forged in Fire, that we've done before, which might just populate over here. But I would love to be able to get some other folks on, so that way you guys don't just get my opinion, you just don't get my thoughts behind things and the way that I just move the needle forward, but also you can get some other perspectives. And I love this to be kind of a hub or a house, like space for it to be able to happen. So again, if you have not yet, feel free, hit the description thing down below to be able to sub to this channel so you can get all the notifications. Hit the bell, go ahead, upcut it, whatever you got to do. But what this video is going to be about today, we're going to talk a little bit more about what it looks like after you pick up a lot. I can talk a little bit about what it looks like to be able to pick up lots, but for those that don't know, my name is Nate, aka Kong Gone Wrong, TTV, as I'm a Twitch affiliate streamer. And we've been doing a mini-series. And on the mini-series, what we've been doing is kind of helping you guys out if you're interested in being able to start selling singles on TCGplayer, as well as some sealed product. As we're just starting, as you see from our store behind us, we're just starting to dabble a little bit into some of the sealed stuff. So we've learned a lot. And we're going to continue to try to learn and move the needle forward each and every day to get a little bit better than we were the day before. And meanwhile, in the same process, try to help you guys out by passing along the information that we've gotten. So with that being said, a couple of things on the sealed side. Number one, have you guys seen these before anywhere? You might have seen them in some of your local stores and whatnot. Let's see if we can. This glare is crazy, but this is the X and the Y's. We picked up an entire case of those. So check the store, JungleGamesENT.com. Go ahead, check the store if you guys are interested in an entire case. It's on this case, or we can piece them out. We got more back there on the shelf as well. I think literally right there. But yeah, so before we fully dive in, we've got to give you guys your flowers and thank you guys so much. The month of March was our biggest yet. My son and I, we started this business back in June 20th was the date that we officially had our LLC fully registered. And then we started selling on TCGplayer. We went from like month of June, we had 7 sales. Then we jumped up to 47 sales in July. And then from there, I mean, the sky was the limit. We just sort of took off and shot towards the moon. But the month of March was our biggest yet. And this is what we're going to do. Kind of like a credibility check. I'm going to screen share. So hopefully this will jump screens over and you guys can still see me, still hear me. But this is our store here, right here. This is the back end of it. And what I'm going to do, and we've got one order still pending, but what I'm going to do is go over to reports. And inside of reports, we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys exactly what it looked like for us. So we're going to jump over to March, and we'll go March 1st. And we're going to go right back over here to March 31st. And down here is going to populate, and it's going to let us know exactly what we did. We did 461 sales. That's record-breaking for our store in a 31-day period, 30-day period, 31-day period. And really, it's all hats off to you guys. So, again, it's JungleGamesENT.com. Each one of our orders got one of these in there. And this was just the orders just from the TCG side. So I had a little bit of sealed that was in there as we put some of our stuff, some of our product on TCGplayer just to be able to get our brand out there to the world. But then we also keep a lot of our sealed product directly on our store. So check out our store if you have not. Again, it's JungleGamesENT.com. And you can find our singles from our store. If you go to our store, you'll click singles. It'll redirect you to TCGplayer, and there you can buy at 5% below market, just to try to help you guys out, because TCGplayer takes a lot of fees. But if you're able to have people purchase directly from your store, they don't take as much. So you guys get them at a cheaper discount. We also keep some more money in our pocket to be able to continue to buy lots, which is what this is actually going to be about. So let's jump right back over. Let's jump back over here. So this way we continue to talk. So in the amount of time that I've been doing this, there have been a couple of different ways that I've seen, and maybe you guys have seen it from some of our shorts, when you purchase lots, whether you're purchasing a $10 lot, whether you're purchasing a $100 lot, $1,000 lot, $10,000 lot. Two of the biggest main ways is you'll either get them in an ETB, like this. You get them in an ETB. They'll hand them over to you. You'll have a whole entire stack, and then you go through, and it's just fine. And then you'll go back, and you'll make sure. And also, I should probably preface by saying, well, let me finish this thought. The other one as well is you'll get them in a binder, right? A binder just like this, full of cards. And then what do? Once you get home, you get option A, option B. And so we'll get into that. But what I do, once I get back home and once I'm looking at these, whether they are in the binder or whether they're in the ETB style, I like to put them in alphabetical order. I like to make sure that I am, and I don't care too much about sets. And for those that are new here, let me explain a little bit. So we started in June, and I like to do these kind of long-form contents by way of story. So I talk about what I've done in the past, what worked, what didn't work, and I like to relate by telling stories because it helps me learn, and hopefully it's going to be able to help you guys learn. But when I initially got started back in June and July, I didn't have a ton of cards. I did not have a ton of cards. So I kept everything in a box, very similar like this, very similar like those down below behind the Ascended Heroes, right back there. I kept them all in like a box, one box. All I had was everything in one box, and I had it in alphabetical order, A through Z. I did it for Pokemon, I did it for Magic, and it worked for me, and it might work for you. But after I was watching some content, I was trying to figure out what it was going to take for me to be able to level up. I realized that I needed to figure out how I could start separating them and segmenting them by sets. So now, in one of these kind of cases over here, one of those boxes, I put the newest set on the far right up closer to me. And if you guys would like, I can do one of those point of view videos like we've done before. If you guys liked those, I can put the little thing on, put the phone up to it, and we can go through it that way. And I can show you exactly more of like a hands-on demonstration, and we can do that. But today we'll just talk about it. And if you guys make comments, say, hey, make one and show us exactly what you do, Nate. I got you guys. No problem at all. But now what I do is I'll put the newest set on the far right closest to me. And then anytime new sets come out, they go in that slot, and then I just keep moving them back. Before, because I could have fit everything inside of, let's just call it a skinny shoebox, right? I didn't have very many. I was using my own collection at the very beginning. And then we had just some loose cards that we had from, we like to play competitively. So we just had some loose cards. So we just put them in there, A through Z. I had one box for Pokemon, one box for Magic. That's what we started with. But then as I started to acquire lots, I realized that I needed to find a way better way to do this. And that's where it sort of transformed into going by set. So under each one of the sets. So let's just use one of the most recent sets. So I had Ascended Heroes. If I pick up a lot that's got a bunch of Ascended Heroes cards in it, there'll be an Ascended Heroes spot inside of it, and I definitely can show you guys more. Maybe I'll pull up a picture of it, maybe it'll flash on the screen, but there'll be an Ascended Heroes slot, and then inside of that slot, then I go to A to Z. Same thing for, let's say, Destined Rivals, Journey Together. Let's just say any of the Mega Evolution block. Same exact thing all the way back. And that worked well for me. But let's talk about what happens before you get to that point. Two different ways that I like to do it. If they're coming out of this, coming out of one of these, what I do is I go through and I start A to D. A, B, C, D. I take the first four and I grab all of those. So what I'll do is I'll just pull all the cards out. As you see, it's kind of already started. I'll pull them all out, A to D. And then once I go A to D, I'll get those in my hand and I'll put those in alphabetical order, right? All the A's, all the B's, all the C's, all the D's, put them off to the side, and then I'll go through for the next four and the next four. And I do it that way because typically, from what I found, usually MNOP is going to be pretty big, pretty bulky, because there's a lot of M's, especially on the Pokemon side, because you got all the Megas, so all the Megas are going to be right there. And then anything around like the STs are going to be pretty big. I don't know, in Magic especially, it's like a lot of S's and a lot of T's in the names. But when you're doing them in those four blocks, so A through D, and then you go the rest of it, E, F, G, H, and then I, J, K, L, M, N, O. You guys get it. Once you do it that way, it's sizable. Probably about a stack about yay big. Typically quickly, depending upon how big your lot is. And then I'll put them in alphabetical order. And then I'm done, moved off to the side, and then I'll jump to the next block, and the next block, until I'm done. Bite-sized chunks, moving the needle forward. That's what we always talk about here on this channel. And then after that, that's when I go ahead and I throw them up on the store by just going to the inventory tab, and then I just start listing cards. After I list a couple of cards that way, then I go ahead and I put them all into the categorized spots down below over here, and then that's how you guys are able to see them in the store. If they're in an ETB, what I do is the exact same, except now they're already pulled out. Another word to the wise, send it out there. Sometimes when you purchase lots, not all the time, but sometimes when you purchase lots, they'll not always be sleeved. So make sure that you try to keep some sleeves on hand, just loose sleeves. We keep them around. They usually come inside of, I buy these right here. I buy these in packs of 100, and it comes with 100 sleeves as well, penny sleeves. So just make sure if you ever get those, don't toss them. Keep them off to the side just in case you ever need to go ahead and sleeve them up. And then always keep your top loaders in our inventory. We keep up on the top row here. Then we have an entire inventory over there. Maybe that's a video for another time. If you guys are interested in knowing what it is that we use for inventory, let me know. We can talk about what kind of envelopes. We can talk about what we look for when it comes to the tape that we use, how we found that it stretches the... You get the most bang for your buck for which kind of tape that we like to use. We use this Blue Painter's tape. In case you guys didn't know, Blue Painter's tape works well. And we can put links down below for the Amazon store. So really, that's how we do it. But if you have it in ATB, let's jump back into it. If you have it in ATB, go to your local LGS, or you can order one on Amazon. We got these right here. We like these. These right here work well. What is the name of it? It's called the Card Sorting Tray by BCW. It's right here. We'll hold it up. Boom. And what I did is, let me see if you guys can see. I put the letters right up at the top. So when I have them in an ETB and I have the time to be able to do so, so not when they're coming directly out of one of these, but when they're already in an ETB and I want to do more than just my normal block of 4, you can easily just grab a lot of cards right here, and then you'll just figure out which ones they go to. Now, I'm going to challenge you to figure out what works well for you. Rather you'd like to go ahead and pull all the sorts out first, or put them in alphabetical order first. For me, my whole process is after I get them fully sorted and I get them in alphabetical order, then I'll go through and I'll find the sets. Because for those that don't know, and hopefully, but if you do know, awesome. If you don't, cool. So on the bottom of cards, you'll be able to see, and the camera probably is not going to support this very well, but on the bottom left, you will see the three letters that are associated with the sets, and it's easy to find, very easy to find. So after you have an alphabetical order, what I do is in sets of 2, I'll go through and I'll pull them out there. So Destined Rivals, DRI. So I find all the DRIs, and because they're in alphabetical order, when I'm going off of my stack, just like this, I'll just literally put them face down, face down, face down, face down. Then they're already done. Then they're already in alphabetical order, already sort-setted, and then I take it right back over here to the big thing. And then the big thing, you'll just go through and put them out there how you like them. So that's really kind of it when it comes to what it looks like for sorting. Again, we can go more in depth, but I wanted to kind of walk you guys through a lot of this process and some of my thought process behind how I'm able to try to transact on, over 400 and I think it was 461 sales, and to be able to get this done while still working full time, while still being a father of 2, while also taking care of real estate and all the other things that I do. And my process is usually I do it in the mornings. Typically, I'll spend about an hour and a half ish doing all my packing in the morning, super early, and then I'll just get them out. And this is the process that I found that seems to work pretty well for me. But let me know, what do you guys use? What does your process look like? And if you need any additional help, please, if you need any additional help, what I would consider doing is, matter of fact, this might actually work. Hold on. Let's see if I can just screen share right over here. Let's see what happens. Look at that. I've never really done it the OBS way like this with screen. I do stream, but not in this capacity. So hopefully this all works out. But if you go to our website, right? So you're on the website, go under Learn. One of the things here that I'm really trying to build into the community is a place for us all to go. And you can find that out through our Discord. Join our Discord if you haven't. We do a lot of giveaways. We have a lot of fun. We talk a lot of different deck strategies, theories. Talk a little bit about some investing. We talk a little bit about some of the moves that we'd like to make. All the fun stuff. Doesn't matter. But let's go here. So you're going to learn during the time of the recording this. This is where it's located, but it'll always be somewhere. And then go over to your TCG money map. It's that money map. The money map is free right now. It's got a little video tutorial. You'll get a longer video when you download it. But literally, it'll break down everything on how we categorize stuff. So what we were talking about when it comes to the tape, it'll tell me exactly when the last time I ordered the tape was, so I can be able to understand just how fast I'm churning and burning through those. It'll talk about my lots. One of the cool things that I was able to discover just a couple months back was, and to you guys will be like a no-brainer, but one of the cool things that I was able to figure out is the more lots that I buy, the more money that I make. I know, crazy concept, but I just didn't really realize that. So the more that I'm able to continuously get out there to be able to find lots, and me personally, I like Facebook Marketplace as one of my main sources to go to, but the more frequent I was able to purchase lots and the faster that I was able to get those on the store, the more sales that I made. And there's small tweaks and things that you can make on there, but we can talk about those. If you guys are interested in how I purchase lots and how I've been able to find folks to be able to purchase from, we can talk about that. To give you an idea, to give you a little bit more insight on that, one of the things that I've really found help with, like that have been tremendous, is connecting with folks that love to do master sets. Those folks are going to be your best friend. Folks that like to be able to just rip packs, not so much on the side of, I just want to buy it to try to hold it, keep it sealed, don't invest for, no. When it comes to being able to purchase lots, find folks that are looking for master sets, because they are ripping for fun, and they're ripping a heck of a lot to be able to complete those master sets. And when they get duplicates, or they get 3 of a kind, or 4 of a kind, or play sets, if you will, and they don't want them, they only care about one of them, they'll let them go. And I buy at 70%. That's where I'm at. And I always put it out there on our social media as well. But the reason I'm going to tie this all back to this money map and why that's important, let me switch back here. The reason I do that and why that's important is because it talks about when the last time that I connected with somebody. Here's a story for you, and I'll probably reiterate this if you guys do want to see a full long 10-minute video on how I source and how I get lots. But it showed me right on there the date that I purchased a lot from this person. Let's call this person X. Purchased a lot from X, spent X amount of dollars with them, or Y amount of dollars, didn't matter. And then I was able to just reach back out. And because I had this person in my contact, like, oh man, it's been like 2 months. I haven't heard from this person. Let me reach out. Hey, how you doing? Just checking in. Just want to let you know that we're still out. We're still buying lots. Hit me right back instantly. Really? Okay, I got another lot for you. And because of that, and because I've been able to establish and kind of keep those kind of relationships going with folks, it comes a point. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in the first week. It's not going to happen in the first month. It's going to take time. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. But because of that, what I was able to do is now they just reach out to me. I'm not doing all the sourcing anymore. I've created enough relationship and enough rapport with folks that they'll reach out to me when they're ready to go ahead and offload and say, hey, Nate, you ready? Born ready. Let's go. Let's make it happen. So it helps me out. So some of the other things that I want to kind of talk about that were questions that came up, and maybe we'll go into some of those, is why do I have my own website? Why do I do the website if I get a free website from TCGplayer? Free website because they take the fees. But we'll get into some of those other things. I also got a ton more questions over here that were asked. Keep the questions coming. I love this open dialogue. I love the transparency. We can talk more about numbers. We can talk about more what it looks like when you buy at 70% TCGplayer plus the shipping and everything else. Typically, is like, I write it off at about 15%. We can go more in depth or more granular if you'd like, but 15%, and then I make anywhere from like 10 to 15%. Now, I don't have time to be able to do it itemized card by card. I wouldn't suggest that you guys do it card by card, how much you purchase for it. But the general rule of thumb is you're purchasing it at like 70%. You're going to lose like 15 off top towards fees and shipping and all the other fun stuff. You'll make your 10 to 15%. Again, it's take it with a grain of salt, right? But we can go more in depth if you guys would like to, if you guys want to. But yeah, with that, we talked a little bit about what it looks like when you buy lots. Like 2 different ways. I'm just going to reiterate it. Usually you'll get them just as in an ETB or some kind of tin like this, or you'll get them like this when you purchase lots. It's going to be probably your best friend in one of those 2 ways. Then you're going to go in, you're going to put them in alphabetical order. How you do so, I gave you some suggestions. How I do it, how you do it is up to you. I like to, if they're in one of these, Grab the first 4 letters, A, B, C, D, then the next 4, then the next 4, then the next 4, put it in alphabetical order, set them off to the side, keep it rocking. If it comes in an ETB, if they're all loosey-goosey everywhere, grab yourself your BCW right here. Make sure you got your letters on there to help you out. You just go ahead, burn through them as fast as possible. Then after that, grab them by set, put them away after you inventory them. So, hopefully this video was helpful. Hope you guys learned something. If you did learn anything, or if you found this helpful, go ahead in the comments down below, put !jungle, !discord, jungle or discord. Either one of those. I like those. Go ahead, throw them in there. So, again, welcome to the jungle, y'all. Hopefully this was helpful. Looking forward to seeing y'all in the next one. We'll talk to y'all soon. Take care, y'all. Peace.